obviously this is a movie that is a love letter for you, but being a producer before, and now this being your first time directing, how conscious were you? How much did you think about in the back of your head about the narrative and being fair to the narrative, because you are the director from the outside and it is a story about you? So how difficult, or was there a challenge in kind of doing that?
That is a really good question, and something that was always like kind of changing as we went along. At first, I didn't even realize that I needed to be on camera in the film. I just thought, oh, there's this cool footage, and we'll start interviewing people that I knew, and wow. And then over time, it sort of became clear. And there's a guy who's a filmmaker that's from Germany that did a movie about desert rock. And then he was like,
Is that the opening scene? Is that the guy from the opening scene?
No, different guy. But anyway, he was like, I was in Berlin interviewing the experts and Neubauten people, and he goes, you have to be in this. And I was like, fuck, he's right. So anyway, then over time, like also working with a really good editor, with Tyler Hubby, who's done music documentaries before, it became clear that the story needed to be somewhat from my point of view, but also not all about me. You know what I mean? So that was definitely a balance I was trying to strike, and then it was cool that a lot of these people like Mariska, people that I've been friends with and known for so many years, and some of them were just so great, and they remembered things that I didn't remember, and we kind of all pieced the thing together.
What was harder, making the actual movie or getting the rights to some of this music that existed? Because you have some classic tracks playing in the background of this film. It's a great soundtrack for anybody who's interested in soundtracks. It's a really good one, I would imagine.
Thanks. You are on top of your game. Yeah. No, the music rights is hell.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we did basically get really great cooperation from everybody who was in the film.
Nice.
And so whether it be Swans or Minutemen or all that, but there were complications. Let's just say, because if a certain person had written music and then we weren't able to clear that, we had to use something that was written by somebody else or whatever. So anyway, without going into too many details, it's definitely been a project. We had a great music supervisor, Sean Fernald, who kind of helped us through all that, and it's just been a lot of love from the community. People that now are doing music licensing, but they were at the gigs and things like that. So there's even people in the film, Adam Wolf, who really helped us with SFT, which, as you know, probably is a little complicated. Yeah.
Nice. Was there a band that you particularly were sad that you had to cut out of this film?
No, but basically, I just, Tyler and I went through and we kind of just, did our wish list. And so there were some people that were a little more high profile that we thought maybe we'll get, but they were never at our gigs. So even though Sonic Youth was probably bigger than any of them, they've been fantastic and just really supportive all the way down the line. Out with our crowdfunding, and then she's like, what can I do to help?
What do you miss most about those times?
I think what I miss is spontaneity. It felt like we could just do stuff, whatever. You could even have no plan for the night and end up at 3 amazing gigs, or crashing in Oakland when you meant to go to San Diego or whatever. And that kind of approach to life, it's hard to keep it going when you're a grown-up, and then also it's just, I think things have changed a little bit. Cost of living is a lot more, rents, things like that. So, but that's probably the biggest thing. It just felt like there was always this kind of creative ferment going on, and you could just experience it.
Well, I have a question. There's Ethan Port here in the audience, and I wondered if you were one of those drummers on the hillside.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. I have another thing I want to say about Ethan. I don't even know if you remember this, but when I said a friend of mine told me about this band collapsing new buildings in Berlin, and You should go see that was Ethan.
Yeah, yeah.
Tip me off.
I met them in 1982, right after that record came out. Because I heard they were playing it in a record store, and I was like, this sounds like Savage Republic. I need to meet these guys. So I went around asking like all the people. It was in Hamburg, right? And I don't know, Germany is different than America.
Just speak loudly.
It's like, it's not dangerous.
Just go on up there, Ethan.
So I was like 18 and spending my bar mitzvah money going around Europe. There's like punk rock in Europe. And I ended up in Hamburg, and I was at the record store and they're playing this thing. I'm like, oh, this sounds like Savage Republic. So I bought the record, and on the back of the record was the address. And the address was like where Neubatten lived. Like, they would go between Hamburg and Berlin because you could hitchhike and basically get free rides like between Berlin and Hamburg. So that's all I know when I met them. They told me about this. So I went down the street and was just asked strangers on the street, like, do you know where this address is? They're like, oh yeah, das is the old newspaper building. Everybody knew because it was the old newspaper that like shut down. So I found the door and I like knocked on this like metal door on this giant warehouse. And then Mufti, after Meinheit, answered the door. And he's like, why is this weird 18-year-old kid like blabbering at me in English? So they brought me in, and it was him and Alex was like 16, and like I just talked to them like, you guys are cool. Hey, I'm from California. Whoa, you guys should come play in LA. They like tolerated me. And then, so another story, so then a couple years later, that Gemini Finascio was right when we were joining Savage Republic. Bruce, I think, wasn't sure yet, so he didn't call it Savage Republic. He said, let's go play the mountain. And then I saw Alex and Mufti, so I said, do you remember me? And then after mine, I was like, oh yeah, you were that crazy American kid that came from me. And Alex said, well, you saw that first thing where he says, like, he's like, what does that word mean or something? That's what he was like.
What does cautious mean?
Yeah, what does cautious mean? So I was like, Alex, do you remember me? I met you 3 years ago. And he's like, he looked me in the eye with this like blank stare and says, I'm so sorry, for I have done too much of the acid.
What do you love about being an indie filmmaker?
Well, I love being able to actually do what I want because, I've worked in television and a lot of what you do is similar in the sense of working with an editor and a camera operator and GPs, whatever. But there's always somebody else giving you notes, telling you what to do, so for me it's just all the difference in the world to be able to actually just do the thing that I want to do, the way I want to do it. And that's kind of what I think Slamdance is also all about.
How much value did your production background, because you worked for Chris Angel, you did a bunch of stuff, so how much do you feel like that helped you in making this movie?
Well, it's interesting. When we were doing those early desert shows, I always wanted to have people filming. I thought I was going to make a film then, but now it ended up to be done all these years later. And I do think part of it is because the technology changed and it's much more accessible for people. But also, I think all the things that I've done come into it. I have a lot of more experience in just working with creative people and kind of I know how to use time code and give notes and stuff like that. But also, I just feel really lucky to have worked with the people that I work with. Some of whom came out of doing TV stuff, other people just friends of friends, but really just, the most incredible group of people. And that's kind of how it all comes together so well. It's everything from the earliest days of shooting to the color correction at the end.
So if you were to put one of these festivals on again in the future, what is your dream band to have up on that stage?
Wow. We did sort of during our crowdfunding say we're going to do a new desert show, and I've been thinking about this question a lot. And I actually, at this point, I think what would be really cool would be kind of like and I hate to, in quotes, a super group, but something like Mike Watt with Thurston, maybe George Hurley playing drums, something that would be the vibe. But these people are so much, they've expanded and grown as musicians so much. I think that would be amazing.
So what do you think of all the festivals that come after you, all the ones that have kind of mimicked what you've done? What is your opinion of them, and how much influence did they reach out to you in trying to put together what they were doing?
Well, I don't really feel like they mimicked what we did, because I feel like in a lot of ways, these Lollapalooza certainly was kind of a big, operation with William Morris and all that from the beginning. Golden Voice was already doing what they were doing. You probably went to Golden Voice, yeah, sure. Suicidal Tendencies, the Olympic or whatever. Burning Man I feel the closest to in the sense of, I'm good friends with one of the founders, although he left in 1995, John Law. And I didn't even know that our shows had influenced them, but I was at one of the early ones, and I felt like, wow, this is a cool evolution from what we were doing, even though I didn't know there was any connection, but it turns out that he was part of Survival Research Laboratories. I heard about what they did out in the desert, and it was in the back of his mind, and so, that kind of stuff led to what ended up becoming this giant thing that I don't feel any connection to.
Yeah, there's a great picture of Perry Farrell walking into your festival on the website area, especially on the Slamdance website. Did he reach out to you about when he wanted to do Lollapalooza at all?
Yes, you're on it. Yes, so I used to do these things called assault videos, in sort of the same era where we do like video montage of just all kinds of extreme weird shit, which led to me doing a Muck Books. And Perry knew about those, and he's like, "You should do like the videos in between the bands, man." And anyway, so I was
Nice Perry Farrell impersonation.
So I was like, sure, we'll do that. You know what I mean? And then it got scaled back a lot, where what we ended up having was a booth, alongside of like PETA and stuff like that, which was fine. Like, some people wanted to go on the road and do that, and they got to hang out with Susie Sue, and we didn't. But long story short, I think there was some discussion, but I really didn't know. It was, again, one of those things where I found out later where Perry was talking about, being a bus monitor, taking tickets at our shows and things like that, how much impact it had on it. I really never knew that.
Awesome. So are you planning on making more films now? Have you caught the bug, or are you going to go back to your producer life?
If I could keep this life going, I would absolutely love to. And I definitely have projects. Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, I mean, and one of them is sort of come out of my other part of my life to do with Muck Books. There's an author, John Gilmore, who's a really fascinating guy, and I'm going to do something with his son, kind of looking at his whole legend and things like that. And then, other projects that, I used to be a development guy, so I mean, I have more than one. But I don't really, they're not all things that are really ready to like start talking about.
So Stuart contacted me, sent me an email, and he said he was working on this documentary and was trying to remember how many shows I went to, and then I was like, how many shows did I go? Oh, yeah, I didn't go to the one on C because I get seasick, but I went to the 3 other ones, and I said, come on, yeah, I'd love to be in it. But can I say something really quick? Mark, you blew up our bag of groceries. I've been wanting to say this for years. At that show, Alba and my friend Mark and I had this bag of groceries, and we're like, yeah, we're thinking ahead. We're gonna have a bag of food. Let's hide it behind this refrigerator. You blew it up.
Back in the 80s, we put on parties in the desert, and we called ourselves Desolation Center.
Is the punk movement part of the Nazi movement?
No, that's the police. That's the Nazi movement.
Punkers have been long at odds with police.
The early 80s was a time of experimentation and rebellion.
The LAPD freaked out about punk rock like it was the second coming of the Black Panthers. They were gonna squash that stuff.
I started thinking I need to apply some of the out-of-the-box punk rock thinking. And it sort of struck me like, wow, why couldn't we put this kind of really cool music into this desert environment?
How many things could go wrong,
I immediately understood the element of danger and the element of feeling alive are actually connected.
Everything that I found exciting at the time, all here in this remote spot.
Everyone was on acid and there was no plans for us to get home.
Wait, did you guys have permits for that?
No.
Total anarchy.
I had no idea that we were making history.
It's these magic moments that the people who go to them are affected by them, and it might inspire future generations.
Desolation Center was one of the inspirations when we started doing Burning Man.
was beyond the theory, you know? It was made real. This gig makes total sense.
And I just remember thinking, this is transformative.
Those shows reflected that spirit of, I'm gonna make it happen.
It was definitely one of those doors that opens and you're kind of different on the other side.
I was kind of hoping to see the hillside come down on everybody, but that's my disappointment.